pale Scandinavian version of a carrot. Actually, it looks like he swallowed the carrot. But Israel is the only place where you can bulldoze a house and then sue you for scratching the tank. But dude, everybody knows that you're lying. Your neighbor knows that you're lying. Your barista knows you're lying. Even your GPS avoids your house because of the sting that comes from your vicinity. Everybody knows you're lying.
Well, I would say this. All right, let me jump in.
Pathologically lying.
Okay, let me put it this way. You know what, Jonathan? You're perfectly entitled to not care what I think about any of this or what Bاسm Yusuf has to say about it, because obviously he has passionate views on the other side of this. And I've changed my views, as you know. I've said this to you very clearly. But I'm not the only one. What would concern me right now, if I was Israeli or Jewish, actually, is if I read Thomas Friedman's column, which was very powerful, and I urge people to read it today on the New York Times website. If I saw that the UK, Australia, Norway, Canada, New Zealand have sanctioned 2 members of the Israeli government for repeated incitements of violence against Palestinian communities, if 2 former prime ministers, one, Ehud Olmert, said enough is enough, Israel's committing war crimes. Ehud Barak, choosing a war of deception, would write a new chapter in The March of Folly. The war is a misleading smokescreen that purports to be a campaign for the country's security and future, while in actuality it's a political war. You've got your own former prime ministers, you've got Jewish columnists, you've got 5 allies, and they're all being increasingly critical of what this Israeli government is doing. Why does that not concern you?
So let's address that. First, let's characterize the countries that are part of that. Norway is not an ally. Norway has been really the tip of the most extreme part in Europe.
Let's take the UK.
Propagating for a Palestinian state at all costs. Yeah, I will. And as I said in the beginning, I am indeed worried. I'm saddened by it. I think that it is a wrong decision. And I regret that that is what the UK has decided to be the policy that the UK is
You know why they're doing it, don't you, Jonathan? They're doing it because Smodrich and Ben-Gvir have made no secret through their publicly stated comments that they want to kick all the Palestinians out of Gaza. They're also endorsing endless new illegal settlements on the West Bank. This is genocidal language that they're talking. That's why these actions have been taken. And I don't believe, Jonathan, having interviewed you many... Hang on, let me ask the question. Having interviewed you many times since the start of the war, I do not believe that you have anything in common with these people. I just think you instinctively know what they're saying and what they are planning to do is wrong.
So let me say this. As I said in the beginning, and I've been clear about it, I didn't vote for, and I probably don't support them in much of what they say. Not in content and not in the way that they say it. I don't think that everything that these 2 ministers, these elected officials say is wrong, but I do think that many of their statements have been tasteless, have been wrong, and have been unhelpful. Now, what I am concerned with a lot, really a lot, is what we spoke about the last conversation when you had Ehud Olmert on. You asked him one semi-serious question about the war crimes allegations. He didn't back it up because he doesn't have anything to back it up with. He was just there for the headlines, and for the attention, and because he has a grudge against Bibi, and because he also has a lot of criticism against him. That is fine, and that's part of the Israeli political debate and environment, and that is usually what happens in democracies when people have the ability to say what they think and they have the freedom to do so. By the way, Arabs have it as well in Israel, unlike in most other countries in the Middle East. However, what I would say is also very worrying, and I think relevant to this program and to many other programs, is how easily Hamas propaganda and anti-Semitism are platformed, and what the consequences of journalists. A few questions ago, you started speaking about journalists. I would like to address the issue of the responsibility of journalists when they report from the field. I would like to address the responsibility of the New York Times. They are in the field. They are in the field. They have people in the field, and they have people in Jerusalem.
How many international journalists are currently in Gaza? How many